love watching the music awards these days because what everybody's wearing is so insane. It's just crazy. I find them like super entertaining.
It's so that and like the MTV awards, like it's so interesting to see what people wear.
Right? Yeah, the music awards really, they're just like, really exciting. So,
And there's a lot more liberties you can take. And
well, I just remember when celebrities kind of wore like something like weird or like a little bit strange, and then they would get, just horrible press for it. And so then there was this time where everybody got very conservative, and almost everybody went to the Oscars wearing like something like Armani or something, very safe and pretty and nothing controversial. So then it took this turn where it got like a little boring, and then everybody sort of got out of that and got braver again.
like I think when you say that of some of like Cher's early Oscar stuff or like Bjork's swan dress, like that's where my mind goes for the
Well,
Oscars.
even
Where
before that, I remember one year Kim Basinger made her own dress and Demi Moore made her own dress. Or, I don't think they sewed them, but they said they designed their outfit.
interesting. Do you get starstruck? I mean, you've worked with so many people, you've attended all these award shows. Like, do you have that in you? Like where you meet somewhere where you're just like, oh, wow.
Well, it depends, I always thought like Salma Hayek was really cool. And she was at the Met. She was one of the hosts of the Met, one year. So I was happy to meet her, but she was really cool. And I have to say, I was thrilled to meet Angelina Jolie too, especially after having dressed her. So I felt like I had a little connection.
What is working with Angelina like, or just meeting her like?
Well, she was very sweet, very nice, and she was a little more low key than I anticipated. And she wasn't as tall as I anticipated. I really thought she was going to be 5'10", because she looks like she's like 5'10" in the movies and everything. But yeah, she was very nice.
Who do you think is some of like the best dressed like men and women? Because the guys have, I feel, really stepped up their game as of late.
Oh, don't ask me about men. I think they're all dressing really silly these days.
You do?
Yeah.
Like who?
You know who I'm talking about.
I could think of one in particular, maybe two.
Yeah. Yeah, probably them. But everybody loves Zendaya these days. She's so cool and looks amazing. And always loved Rihanna.
What is the biggest mistake you think like people make in fashion? Like not even just celebrities, like when they're, just dressing themselves, picking something out, buying it. Just what do you think is the biggest mistake like a consumer makes?
I don't know. I guess putting too much on, like too many things on. I guess it's that old expression about take the last accessory off. But I think a lot of people like put too much crap on.
I could see that. And are you like, like you look at like a doctor doesn't want to walk around and, like diagnose people all day. Like when you're out and about in Sag Harbor, eating at Le Bibliothèque or in the city, like, do you just by default, like look at what people are wearing? One couldn't blame you. It's your business. Is that always on your
Well,
mind?
certainly in the Hamptons, you see a lot of cute girls dressed in like cute clothes. So, yeah. Obviously, Bill Bouquet on a Sunday. Yeah, everybody's like dressed in a very cute dress. Yeah, that's always fun.
They enforce their dress code there to some extent.
Yeah, no flip-flops.
The Hamptons has its own set of style, right? Is there one or two celebrities that you would just love to work with? Like if someone said, who would you love to dress? Like maybe.
Well, I think right now Zendaya would be a cool person to dress, but I just can't think of anybody who's really on my radar right now.
She's so style forward. I would agree. What is the biggest, what do you think, misperception about the fashion industry? Like there's so many people that want to get into this industry. Like, what do you think is just the biggest misperception that people have?
I don't know. I guess they think it's all glamorous, but it's not, even though it does have its glamorous aspects. It's it's a lot of work and it's a lot of decision making, and there's a lot of tough decisions to make all along the way. And there's there's also, I don't know, I don't know. I think there's a lot of difficulties in it people don't see, because it's very difficult for everybody to always be on the same page. And I mean, from everything, from like your powder maker to your salesperson, it's like, your powder maker may want to change your thing, and she says, oh, I can't make it that way. And I go, well, you have to make it that way. And so that's one thing. And then the salesperson saying, well, I can't sell that, but do this to it. So you're always, I don't know, always trying to sort of make everybody happy, but still maintain your integrity.
That makes a lot of sense to me. What's your feeling on shows like Project Runway and the reality? Well, really, Project Runway is probably the most notorious one in the fashion industry. Has that helped? Like, do these shows work anymore? Just curious what your opinion
I mean,
is.
I only see that like Christian Siriano has been like their big success. So, I mean, the thing is, like shows like American Idol have had created a lot of stars. So I would like to see Project Runway, maybe create more real businesses out of it.
I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I think because of what I do, I can name certain people, but I think the average person says Christian Siriano and that's about it, I would think.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I don't know if it's also diluted like now, just with all these reality shows that like our competitions, that they're in such an advanced season that there's just been so many people that have, I'm not sure. I mean, that might have something to do with it too. I once read in an article, I don't know when this was, but you said like the Nicole Miller style is like you are dressing the uptown girl who wants to hang out downtown.
Well, I I know that's how it's gotten to be, but I really said it was based on me, because I was always the uptown downtown girl, and I lived downtown, but would hang out I would have uptown friends and downtown friends. And when I was single, I had like the uptown boyfriend to go to those kind of events and the downtown boyfriend to go to the art events. So I always felt like I was the uptown downtown girl, because I was always moving between those circles. And somehow it's gotten to be the uptown girl with a downtown attitude, but it didn't originate that way.
It was really, you were talking
It was
about
the downtown
yourself.
girl who was hanging out uptown. So it's reversed now.
Do you have favorite restaurants in New York City? Like, what are some of your favorites?
Oh, well, I'm, Indochine, Balthazar, Pastis, and Bill Bouquet, of course. But those are my four mainstays that I go to all the time.
It's so funny how we're all like that way in New York. We have like so many options and we all have like our favorites, right? That you just attend all the time.
Yeah.
I get it. Is there something in the business that you haven't accomplished? I mean, you've done so much. Like, is there something like kind of on your agenda that you really want to accomplish?